Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one, we're going to continue our work on version controlling with Git. In the previous video, we have set up our Git environment and we have created an Azure project based on Parts Unlimited template. And that's right here. We created our repo and then we cloned our repository inside our Visual Studio Code right over here. So this is our Parts Unlimited project. So in this particular video, we're going to work on uh, exercise 2 and save work with comments. So now we have the code. We want to add modifications, add new features, things like that. Says this: if you read this lab in this exercise, you will step through several scenarios that involve the use of Visual Studio Code to stage and comment. So if you're familiar with the Git workflow, it shouldn't be too difficult for you. So when you make changes to your files, Git is something who's going to track all the changes. So it could be stage, it could be like a modified file, new file, deleted file, all of that can be tracked. Then once you are done with the work and you want to move, you have to commit the files before you can push it back to a repository. Okay, and we'll go through the steps. So in this one, what we're going to do, we are going to go back to the Visual Studio and we are going to go under the Parts Unlimited folder, source, website, models, then cart item.cs. Okay, so let's go and try to find that one. Let me make that one a little bit smaller, see if we can work side by side. Let's bring it over here and keep this is not what I want, this is, let's keep that over here. Okay, so the place where we are going is Parts Unlimited, so that's right here. Okay, and then source, this is the source folder, so I'm going to expand that one. Within the source, I need to go to Parts Unlimited website folder, so let's go find the Parts Unlimited folder. Where is Parts Unlimited? Oh, we are already under the Parts Unlimited website model, and then we need to go to the models. So let's find the models. Model is right there. So click on models to expand the models, and within models, the file we want to edit is the cart item.cs. So find that file. This is the file, cart item.cs. So click on that one, so to bring up the file for you. In this one, they're saying right above the key entry. Where's the key entry? This is my key entry on line 9. You add a line right there. So I'm gonna hit enter and I'm gonna say my first change. So that's a change that, and I'm gonna say save. Okay, and in the Visual Studio window, select the source control tab to verify that Git repos recognize the latest changes. So first thing, a lot of things actually happen. As soon as I type this, in this bar you see this green mark showed up, and that means something. That means it's a new something that you have added. Another thing happened, if you see all other files, they have nothing attached to them. Okay, only in this one the aim showed up. That aim has a meaning. It means it's modified. So if I click my mouse there, and if you read the whole thing after the full file path, it says dot modify. So that means Git is already identifying this. Now the source control is this block. So you can also click on this one, and if you even take your mouse bar, it says source control one pending changes. So let's just click on here. It removes everything from the view and bring in the most important file or files that are currently being tracked by Git because you have some change or something new got added. So this one clearly again saying carts item.cs has been modified. Okay, now with the source control tab selected at the top of the pane, type my commit as the commit message and press control enter to commit locally. So what they're saying here is the message. Okay, what the message, we need to add some command. Okay, So my comment, we're gonna add that as the initial comment right there. And they're saying press control plus enter. Okay, so once it's there, control enter, and it says there are staged changes to commit. Would you like to stage all of your changes and commit them directly? Okay. If prompted whether you'd like to automatically stage the changes, click always. So here they're saying, okay, ask them to automatically detect your changes and commit directly. So we just did that. So one thing that you notice what happened, the bar, the green bar that we had over here, it's now gone. And if we go back to the files view, the modified mark is also gone because Git now is tracking the file, and this is the final version of the files. So right now there are no other changes, right? So let's see. Now the commit that we have just done, this commit we did it locally, okay, in our machine. This commit is still not visible within the Azure repo. Okay, remember that. Now in the lower left corner of Visual Studio Code window, to the right of the master level, note synchronizing changes. So something is this, okay, this is synchronizes changes. You have this down arrow, up arrow, everything looks good, okay. The action will push and pull commits to and from. So we're going to do that in a minute. So what it's showing with a circle with two vertical lines and the number one next to the arrow pointing up. So this is the one that's pointing up. Okay, click on the icon if prompted, and when whether to proceed, click OK to push and pull commits to and from the origin master. So to prove that this change is not visible in the Azure repo, you can definitely go to the Azure repo and find out the same file from source parts unlimited, then models, okay, then carts item.cs. If you see that, here is my key. Although I committed in locally, it's not visible here, right? So now notice what happens if I click on that one. So you're saying this action will push and pull commits to and from origin master. You see, you hit OK. So now you see this synchronization thing is happening, and now it's stopped. And there is no those little arrows, one up and down. It's now not there anymore. So everything is now pushed to this master branch, and this is the branch that you're working on anyway. So over here, you don't see the change. So you say, "Oh, what happened? You said that it's going to update the code in this server as well." Well, let's just refresh. So let's just do a refresh and look at that. That's the magic, right? That's the magic of Git. So you made the changes locally, then you pushed your code, and it's now reflected on the server. Excellent. So let's just go back over here. So you're really done with the commit changes task. So the next task is to review comments. Okay, so let's just see how long that might take. It says switch to the web browser window displaying the Azure DevOps. In the vertical, go to the repos and comments and verify your commit appears there as well. That's pretty easy. So there are multiple ways to look at your comments, and this is only one way from the website on the on the web browser side where you can review your comments. So if you come over here and let's go to the repo, go to the history, and if you look at it right over here is the new comment that we just did today. And if you click on it, it's actually also going to tell you what has changed from the last one, and that is going to show up in green color. So that's what happened, and everything looks good. So let's go back. So we're done with task 2. And then the last task that we have is to stage changes. So this changes, we're gonna go back, switch to the Visual Studio Code window over here, and we're gonna change the first comment to my second change. So I'm just gonna type it out. My second change, that looks good. And again, you see this thing showed up. Okay, let's save. Okay, so again, there's a new change and it showed up. Again, your aim showed up. So it's again modified. In the Visual Studio Code window, switch back to the Explorer tab, navigate to the category.cs. So category.cs is this. Open that one. And in this one, add the file right above the public in category. So public in category, so this is the line, so we're gonna write above, we're gonna add my third change. So I'm gonna go here, hit enter, then paste it, and again you see that green bar showed up, and it's also saying that something is modified. Again, in the source control tab, mouse pointer with the cart sm.cs entry, click the plus sign on the right side of the entry. So over here, click on this. Okay, and let me see if I see the plus sign from here. Okay, so I need to go to the source control for this one. So I'm in the file view. So if I go to the source control view, so it just telling me, hey, these are the two files that were modified. And for the first one, cart item, this time I'm going to click on this plus sign, and if you look the read that text box that showed up, it says stage changes. Okay, so let's just do that. Click on that one. So what happened, that stage the change, okay, from the changes, it now in a new area called the stage changes. Okay, uh, what we want to do next with the stage control. Okay, the this stage is the change to the cart item, the CS file only, preparing for the commit. So in this case, if you commit, only this file what is stage will be committed, but the other file will not be. Okay, so over here, let's do this again. In that comment, say edit comments, just they said at the top of the source control tab, click the ellipsis symbol in the drop down menu, select commit. So this time, instead of instead of hitting control and enter, just right click on it and say commit and comment. This time we're going to commit the staged one only, so we're going to click on that one, and you see this, that one is now gone. It's only one file that remains. Okay, so we're done with all of that. Again, over in this left hand corner, we can click on the synchronize changes, click OK, and we'll look at the origin master. So again, before I do anything, let's go back to our repo. Go, and this is the cart.item. Okay, so let's just go and go to models, cart item. So now it's still my first change. Again, we have made this modification locally, and we have committed only this file. So when I synchronize, this change should come over here. So let's do OK, and the synchronization is going on. Looks like it's done. So if I refresh, it should change to my second change. So let's see if that happens or not. And look at that, that just happened. But since we have not committed the category.cs, my this file, the change that I have done, my third change, it's not. So what in this view that you're seeing, this is the view that we have upstream, okay, right over here, and this is what I have in local. But the local change that is modified has not been committed. All right, sorry, I got a phone call I had to take. All right, so let's come back over here. So we did all that and we synchronized, and I have showed you what has been synchronized, and this is not synchronized with the server because we made some changes and Git recognizes that this file has been modified, but we have not committed. So even if you synchronize, it will not go to the server. Okay, so let's go to the next one, review the history of these files. Or what I'm gonna do, maybe it's not really too big, so let's just continue. Reviewing history, what you can do, we're gonna go and review the history from the portal again. Okay, uh, you can use the command line to look at history as well. And what we're going to do in this section, we're going to look at from the portal again. So the first thing is compare the files. Okay, now read a little bit about the Git and how Git uses the branches and the merges feature through the pull request. Okay, right now we have not really created any new branch. We have downloaded the master branch and we made all the changes in the master branch, and when we did the synchronization, we are directly changing the master branch and pushing into the same master branch only. In a more ideal situation, you will create a new branch. In that branch, you will make your changes, then merge the branch back to the master branch. Okay, we'll do that as well. So let's focus on this task. So go to the Azure DevOps portal, and with the source control tab in the Visual Studio Code, open select category.cs representing the non-stage version of the files. That's exactly what we have just done. And it's already opened up the comparison version. Switch to the web browser, displaying the commits pane of the Azure DevOps to review the source branches and the merges. So let's just go there. Let's just go to the repos again, history, and I think this is the commits pane they're talking about. Let's see if there's any other commits pane I have here. This is files, this is commits. So let's just go there. That might be a better view. Okay, yeah. So this one got a little bit of more graphical view. So we have added two different commits, and we were on the same branch. Okay, and we didn't create a new branch. So when you see these two different lines, probably they have two different branches, and at the end over here, everything got merged. And we made our changes on the same branch, so that's why this dot they showed up on the same line. Okay, so what we need to do next, a comparison, new open enable, so we commits, so we are on this pane. Okay, so you can see how the changes and when it was made, and it can be visualized. So we have just done, it says scroll down to the March PR27 and hover over the mouse pointer to it to reveal the ellipsis symbol on the outside. So let's find what is 27. So there is 35, March 35. I'm looking for March 27. What is March 20? That's PR 24. Let's copy PR 27 so it's easy to find. I'm going to do Control F. Yeah, there we go. So that is the March 27, and here's the ellipsis button. Okay, it has some more options. Click on the ellipsis and select browse files, and so I can go there and hit this browse files, and that should let me choose all the files that were committed as part of this commit. Okay, I can go through this and see what happened, what changes were made, and things like that. Okay, all of that. So it's maintaining a state as part of this commit where you can go back in history and download older version of the code in its older state. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, and again, you can click on that history and see what was removed. Anything that is removed is usually going to show up in red, and other things will that is added will show up in green. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. So what I was explaining is you can look at the history as well anytime. The red is the things that were removed as part of the comment. Green thing is something that was added. So it looks like somebody removed some or added some more comments, some comments and somebody changed that 9.9% to 67.4 in this particular one. So let's go back over here. Uh, so I think the last portion of it is really to work with branches, and let's just do that in a new video. Okay, so I'm going to pause this one and let's meet back with a new video and we'll continue. Thank you.